Petty theft putting downtown residents at a loss as recent crime stats suggest an uptick in desperation by the culprits. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. It's a common frustration in the city. Porch pirates making off with your packages. Now, Ottawa police are reporting a spike in thefts with 2 downtown neighborhoods identified as hotspots. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with the latest data and what it means. Katie.
Stefan, compared to the same time period last year, there's been an 18% increase in thefts under $5,000 in the first 7 months of this year. Rideau, Vanier, and Somerset wards have the highest number of incidents. One example, this is security video from John Mills in Centertown. It shows a delivery driver leaving after dropping off groceries and 2 people walking by. The man returns seconds later, grabbing the bags off the porch. They've also had their vehicle rifled through, and a man working nearby had his wallet stolen from his truck just last week.
Well, it doesn't make us want to move from the neighborhood, but it makes us frustrated with this being such an ongoing issue. Everybody needs to be encouraged to report crimes, no matter how minor, because then in the crime map, police can at least see the bad areas and know where to focus their attention.
New statistics from Ottawa Police show between January and July 20th of this year, there's been an 18% increase in theft, $5,000 and under, but a 26% drop in break and enters compared to the same time period last year. And Mills says he may now consider using secure delivery lockers. The area councillor, who has also recently had a package stolen, says it's a tough problem to tackle because the reasons behind what's happening are systemic and need longer-term solutions. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Katie Griffin reporting live for us. Thank you, Katie.
Welcome.
Capital Pride organizers say they are reviewing all safety and security measures for their festival after a deadly weekend attack in Germany at a Pride event there. CTV's Leah Larocque is here with more on the efforts to keep Capital Pride events and the parade safe. Leah.
Stefan, Ottawa's Capital Pride Month starts in a few days. Organizers say they've already been working with police on a robust and strong safety plan. But what happened in Berlin is a reminder why security has become an increasingly important part of planning Pride events. Capital Pride says there are no concerns right now about the safety of participants and spectators at the Pride Parade and events next month. Callie Metler says planning for the event and community safety is always multi-layered. They are working with police and city departments to plan for the parade and other events, noting heavy vehicle mitigation tactics are already being deployed.
We are, pretty much exactly 1 month out from the Pride Parade, so things were already kind of ramping up to make sure we have all those final details arranged. And certainly, this tragedy in Berlin is going to come up on those meeting agendas, but the meetings were already scheduled, they were already in place, so we already had space to talk about these kinds of things and to adjust plans if necessary, which we will be doing in the next month or so.
Capital Pride says so far no group has withdrawn from marching in the parade because of the events in Berlin, but they say they will continue to have ongoing conversations with organizers and participants so that everyone has as much information as possible. Now, in a statement this afternoon, Ottawa Police say there are coordinated efforts, including directing frontline officers to proactively attend key community locations to enhance visibility and provide reassurance during Pride Month. Stefan.
All right, that was CTV's Leah Larocque with the latest on that. Thank you, Leah. In the meantime, neighborhood safety is in the spotlight for the Craig Henry community after a recent stabbing that involved teenaged girls. Residents say they were shocked to learn the 2 people facing charges are both under the age of 15. Paramedics say a 55-year-old parent was stabbed twice after trying to intervene in the conflict. Area Councillor Sean Devine says incidents like this one happen far too often in the area, and it's something that has to be looked into.
I don't want the actions of a few individuals to taint an entire community or to make apprehensive broadly and generally about all youth. To a certain degree, I need local youth to be part of the solution here. Give us insight into why this is happening.
The names of those charged are protected under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. Police say there are no ongoing concerns for public safety and that the investigation continues. Now, before we take a break, a moment to honor a life that has touched so many, not only through helping families find homes as a realtor, but through generosity and giving time to take part in charitable events or mentor others. Here's how Paul Rushforth is being remembered.
Take aside the fact that Paul was an awesome dad, an awesome friend, and an awesome realtor. He he also gave back. I mean, anytime anybody would ask him to support something that was a charity, he was there. That's his legacy. His legacy is making everybody around him better.
Paul passed away at the age of 52. He was a prominent realtor in this city and former professional hockey player. You may have heard him on CFRA radio as well, where he was often giving lively advice on the real estate market alongside co-host Frank Napolitano, who you just heard from. He will be greatly missed by all who loved him, as condolences continue to flood social media accounts belonging to Ottawa residents.
We have a huge shortage of nurses and physicians in the emergency department. We're all working overtime.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, taking a look at ER doctor burnout with CFRA's Christy Cameron going off script immediately after. And Jackie Perez is here with the first look at the forecast. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Environment Canada is tracking a severe thunderstorm capable of producing strong winds and heavier rain. Now, a severe thunderstorm warning was issued about 15 minutes ago. This is near the Barrhaven area. Bell's Corners, Bowesville, as well as South Gloucester is also under its warning. Now, we are expecting 60% showers overnight. Risk of thunderstorm as well. Overnight lows at 18 degrees. Tomorrow, though, we are anticipating much more rain moving in between 15 and 25 millimeters of rain. We'll get this for you in a little bit, as well as a full look at your forecast.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. Parliament Pilates is happening tomorrow. It's happening on the front lawn of Parliament Hill at noon. Organizers say all you need is your yoga mat and some water. The session is free. We'll be right back. Welcome back to CTV News at 5. Crisis brewing in Canada's already beleaguered healthcare system, with doctor burnout in the ER threatening to push it to the brink. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has more on why it's happening and possible solutions.
In emergency departments across Canada, overworked and understaffed doctors are burning out and leaving.
The crisis is worsening year by year.
This new study published by the Canadian Medical Association Journal has uncovered that 1 in 10 emergency department physicians are walking off the job due to burnout. Dr. Kirsten DeWitt is the lead author of the national study that has spanned the last 6 years.
Emergency physicians are feeling like they're carrying the burden of healthcare.
Hundreds of doctors surveyed across Canada shared that they're burnt out, in part due to being forced to deliver hallway medicine to too many patients, while highlighting a lack of staffing support on the ground.
Patients are dying in our emergency departments, and we know that this is going to continue to happen.
Among the doctors who've remained working in the ER, 48% have reduced clinical hours and 20% have taken time off.
Some of the metrics that we're asked to pay attention to are how many patients you see, not how well you see them.
In May of 2020, emergency department Dr. James Maskalik was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. After successfully battling the disease, he returned to work with a renewed focus on his colleagues' well-being and their ability to deliver quality care.
The point of medicine is to show up for the human being in front of you. It's not to kind of like check these boxes and push people through.
Now the wellness director for the University of Toronto's Emergency Medicine Division, Dr. Maskalik believes that fundamental change is necessary to improve doctor retention and patient care.
Whatever allows us to spend more time with patients.
A comprehensive framework for redesigning Canada's emergency care system has been released by the Association of Emergency Physicians.
We have a huge shortage of nurses and physicians in the emergency department. We're all working overtime all the time.
A statement from the Office of Ontario's Minister of Health says in part that we need the federal government to step up as a full funding partner by renewing expiring health funding agreements to provide stable, predictable, and flexible long-term funding. Though doctors surveyed say their years-long plea for support have continuously been ignored by all levels of government.
If meaningful steps aren't taken to address the issues raised, ER physicians we spoke with fear that much of the work being done to bolster the number of doctors across Canada could be squandered. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, sticking with ER doctor burnout and a pending crisis adding to what's already going on with the healthcare system, CFRA's Christy Cameron joins us now to go off script. Christy.
Well, this is a really alarming survey to me. We're talking about a mass exodus of doctors at a time when we really need them. We just saw that stat. 1 in 10 are leaving the profession, and the majority of the other ones are scaling back or they're taking time off because they've had enough. They're burning out. I actually had the opportunity to interview one of those doctors on my show today. And you know, Steph, what he told me was so poignant. He said, the more you care, the harder it is to go to work every day because you know you're just going to smash head on into those systemic challenges. And he told me as well that doctors have a front row seat to suffering and they cannot change the system. Take a listen.
It's an impossibility to care and work within our system because the more that you care, the harder it is to go to work every day. When you realize that the systemic challenges that we all face across the country aren't really something that you can overcome as an individual, and it takes a group effort. So I, like many of my colleagues, have diversified my practice outside of an emergency department, and that's not something I ever would have expected I would have done if you had asked me this 10 years ago.
I mean, Christy, what a conundrum for healthcare providers and ER doctors in particular as we touch on this topic, because sometimes we have these experiences and we're looking for more care from an emotional standpoint for them, but sometimes people feel like it's cold. But they're doing that for their own good or so that they can treat the most amount of people.
Well, and Dr. Cates, who we talked to there, has been one of those doctors. He's scaled back to about 8 to 10 shifts a month at the emergency department. He wanted to stress it's not because he doesn't love people or love the profession. It's because he takes that work home. And it's really hard for people to understand. He said they need more admitting beds, more resources to keep people in their homes, like home care, more long-term care facilities. And certainly they want to do that so that people are not fearful of going to the emergency department, so they know they can get in.
Yeah, conundrum indeed. Thank you for this, Christy. You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. You can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. Now watch Christy's segments on YouTube. Subscribe to the News Talk 580 CFRA channel.
I run Ironmans because I'm grateful that I have 2 legs. I was shot in both of my legs a couple of years ago. I almost lost the ability to walk. When I was in my hospital.
Coming up on CTV News in 5, an inspiring story of turning a life-changing drive-by shooting into a journey of inspiring and helping to rehabilitate others. And here's what you need to know. Comedy at the Carlton is on tomorrow night. It's happening at the Carlton Tavern located west of downtown on Hintonburg's Armstrong Street. Show starts at 7:30 and we're told you'll be out by 10. There are a few tickets remaining. You're watching CTV. Coming up on CTV after the 6 o'clock newscast, E-Talk starts at 7, The Big Bang Theory at 7:30, American Ninja Warrior at 8, The Quiz with Balls at 10. And now with another look at the forecast, here's Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Taking a look, the severe thunderstorm warning has lifted for here in Ottawa. It is still in place nearby in Montreal. So again, when we took a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam, you can see that it is mainly sunny, at least in the downtown core. It is 21 degrees. This is overlooking Kaweki Point, the sun shining, though light rain showers did pass through near the airport in the last couple of hours. Again, we don't see that here quite downtown, but there is still the risk of showers moving through the region. Overnight, again, 18 degrees, 60% of showers moving through. Right now, it does feel like about 21 degrees, feeling more like 29 when you factor in the humidity. A closer look now at what we can see in terms of our temperatures for tomorrow. We are looking at conditions starting off at 19 degrees. We mentioned the chance of thunderstorm risk throughout our day. 22 is the anticipated daytime high. That's around the 4 o'clock hour. It will feel closer to about 31 when you factor in the humidex levels. So the greatest chance for rain will be between the noon hour and 4 p.m. Environment Canada really forecasting between 15 to 25 millimeters of rain moving through eastern Ontario. Now, as we look towards the valleys, chance of showers, the risk of thunderstorm overnight as well. 19 degrees. Tomorrow, the daytime high will be 20, so not much in terms of a difference in temperature. But again, we are going to feel lots of humidity in the air as well, which could produce these thunderstorm risks. 22 degrees, the anticipated daytime high for the Seaway. And as we get a closer look at the 5-day forecast here, we are averaging temperatures around the low to mid-20s really throughout the week. But Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we are anticipating lots of rain moving through. Again, tomorrow, we are anticipating between 15 to 25 millimeters of rain. This will carry on into the early part of Wednesday morning, and there could see some rain lingering for Thursday. It won't be until Friday that we see sunshine here in the capital.
On today's edition of Simply Ottawa, a gunshot victim that has turned his near tragedy into a triumphant journey of inspiration.
In less than 7 days, I run my second full-distance Ironman, and a lot of people ask me why I would do something like this. Why would I voluntarily swim 4 kilometers, bike 180K afterwards, and then run a full-distance marathon? This is something that only crazy people do, and the reality is, I run Ironmans because I'm grateful that I have 2 legs. I was shot in both of my legs a couple of years ago. I almost lost the ability to walk, and when I was in my hospital bed, questioning if I would ever walk normally again, I made a commitment to myself that if I was ever lucky enough to have access to both of my legs, I would take advantage of them. I would park far away from whatever door that I walked into.
And Brandon Peacock joins us now by video. Brandon, nice to catch up with you again, and thanks for making time.
Yeah, of course. I always got time for you, Stefan.
I appreciate it. We first spoke about 5 years ago, which was about, I think, a year after your shot outside a West End barbershop. Since then, you've launched an organization called Hit the Ground Running, and this weekend you'll be doing the Ironman in Ottawa, and this will be your second one. Talk to us more about the appreciation you have for your legs and why you want to use them to their full capacity and put them through something like this.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, at the end of the day, I think we only have so many opportunities to do these great, just big challenges in our life, right? And I'm no stranger to knowing how short of a window you might have. So I really just want to take advantage of being young, being healthy, being active, and the pinnacle of what I can achieve.
How does that message resonate with others? Because through your organization, that's certainly something that you want to get across to others.
Yeah, I always strive to lead by example. A lot of the kids that I work with now have ended up being spinal cord injury survivors, mostly from gun violence as well. And I just want to lead in a way that all of those kids can hopefully be inspired by, but also try to put them on my back, knowing that they might not be as fortunate as I to have 2 working legs and continue to push them, to the brink. So I want to do what I can to inspire them and pay them back for the ways that they inspire me as well.
We're taking a look at some of your hospital videos now from when that first happened to you so many years ago. Was it hard for you to get into this mindset with such a positive outlook or overcoming this and not just sitting in this sense of being a victim?
Yeah, I'd love to tell you that it was hard for me, but the reality is it wasn't. I had a great team around me. I'm actually sitting outside of my best friend who rehabbed me's physiotherapy clinic right now to go do another session. I have great parents. I have great friends. Staying positive, I think, was the easy part. It was showing up and putting in the work every day that was the biggest challenge. So for me, I'm just grateful to have a second chance at life. I've been grateful since that first morning afterwards, and I try to keep that going.
Perfect, and we are grateful for you, and all the best on the Ironman this weekend.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And take care. And we want to hear your stories of people doing good, spreading joy, making a difference, or marking a notable achievement. We'll be showcasing stories that touch our hearts and make us proud of our city and the people in it, like Brandon. Simply Ottawa. You can send your story ideas to ottawanews@ctv.ca.
Definitely in store. We like to test out our product.
Yeah.
Coming up on CTV News at 5, checking the calendar, getting the back-to-school shopping done early. More on that retail trend in just a few minutes. Here's a live look at traffic right now, taking a look at Pinecrest, which has been one of the busiest corridors of the Queensway for a few months now. Things are moving well in both directions, slowly but moving. We'll be right back. Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Temperature right now, 21 degrees. And it's time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
Certainly, this tragedy in Berlin is going to come up on those meeting agendas.
Addressing safety at Capitol Pride events after an attack overseas in Germany left 1 woman dead and nearly 30 people injured.
It's a really tough problem to tackle because the reasons this is happening are quite systemic and need a lot of longer-term solutions.
Petty theft captured on camera. A look at the rise in 2 downtown neighborhoods.
In this particular case, I think it's important to get to the bottom of what happened.
And a compelling story of espionage involving NATO, with Canada caught up in the investigation. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today.
according to the survey, parents do research digitally and compare online, but physical stores do remain central because families want to see the products. They need to confirm availability.
New survey from the Retail Council of Canada shows 99% of parents prefer to shop in-store than online for back-to-school shopping. Back-to-school shopping is one of the major Canadian retail seasons, worth about $4.5 billion.
Things are wide open now. Overruns the ball, though, and that allows defenders to get back. Rattles around, shots to Florio on his debut!
Atletico Ottawa hosting Victoria's Pacific FC at TD Place yesterday, and it went right down to the wire, but we did seal a 3-2 win on the home side. Ottawa's next match set for this coming Saturday out west, taking on Vancouver FC. Alto is conducting drone surveys in several communities to study the potential high-speed rail route between Ottawa and Montreal. The drones will be flying in the area south of Mer Bleu Bog near Russell Road, Ramseyville Road, and Highway 417. The plan is to eventually run high-speed trains between Toronto and Quebec City with several stops along the way. The first phase of the project will be built between Ottawa and Montreal.
What's so special about chamber music is that it's so intimate and there's so much connection.
Chamberfest was on over the weekend, hosting chamber music concerts in several venues across the city. Many people taking in this one were featured a string quartet. And it will be an incredible night of fireworks Wednesday as Le Grand Feu makes its debut in Gatineau, a spectacular site behind the museum and hall. It will continue every Wednesday and Thursday for the next few weeks. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of CTV National News starts right now. Thanks for watching.